Welcome back to Columbus, Ohio. Goalless at halftime. USA, Mexico in a World Cup qualifier, a vital one. And aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. Substitution coming up for the USA. Fabian Johnson is injured, and Michael Parkhurst is going to come on to replace him. A player who hasn't been getting too much club football at his German club, Augsburg.
And this substitution is fueled by Gatorade, and there's a main reason why you want to bring in Michael Parkhurst is because he played behind Alejandro Bedoya all throughout the Gold Cup. It's important now in the first 5 to 10 minutes of this second half that Bedoya maybe sits a little bit more than he would in front of Parkhurst and supports him and allows Michael to get into this game.
So Parkhurst comes on to win his 23rd cap. Those 23 caps have been spread over 6 years. Just a bit short of first team action. That would be the worry, but he says he's fit, ready to go. Mexico in their traditional green. Not that they've been wearing it all the time. I saw them in black again, playing at home on Friday. I guess the reasons were financial.
And you'd be right, Ian. That's their #1 selling jersey.
Entering the game, number 15.
If Mexico didn't qualify for the World Cup, some experts are saying it could cost as much as $600,000 in sponsorship, advertising, and the rest. It's a long way from happening. Guardado plays it in towards Hernandez, who's waiting behind. Good acrobatic clearance from Omar Gonzalez for the USA. $600 million is the figure they estimate. Did I say 1,000? It's more than that.
You sounded like Dr. Evil from Austin Powers.
It's a scenario no Mexican wants to think about, that's for certain. It would be the unthinkable for them not to make it, having started as very, very hot favorites.
Yes, a scenario that was so very unlikely, and the fact that 3 games to go in the final round World Cup qualifiers, the fact that they need points, that's surprising.
We're told that Fabian Johnson has a strained left hamstring. That's the reason he's gone off. Shouldn't be a problem here for Tim Howard. He'll be bidding to go to his 3rd World Cup.
But Michael Parkhurst coming into this game changes it a little bit because he'll stay at home more often than not on the back shoulder of Omar Gonzalez. That means DeMarcus Beasley can maybe take a few more chances going forward, and Landon Donovan can tuck inside.
At what point, I wonder, do Mexico think of bringing on Oribe Peralta to play alongside Hernandez up top? Peralta got the goal, the only goal Mexico have scored at home so far in the hexagonal. His reward for that was to get left out. I think he did pick up a little bit of a knock in that game. Donovan here tries to get Eddie Johnson in behind. The covering was from Diego Reyes, one of several players in this squad who were part of Tainer's Olympic gold medal winning team at Wembley against Brazil last year. Salcido to do the defending. It wasn't the header he meant, though, not by any stretch. And Bedoya has latched on to this. Eddie Johnson's waiting in the middle and couldn't quite get there. It was a good ball, that, by Bedoya. And there still might be something, because here's Landon Donovan. Curling, but always going wide. Deflection, though. Corner. Second one for the US.
Great work from Bedoya to make sure to see this play out, and this is a phenomenal ball in behind. The moment Bedoya comes onto that ball, Eddie Johnson recognizes he has space in front of him. Perfect ball from Bedoya.
That all came from that misplaced header from Salcido.
Now keep in mind, on that set piece in the first half, there was a dangerous pick set from Omar Gonzalez. Now that's changed. Clarence Goodson is going first.
Here is that set piece. And this time, Eddie Johnson gets there and scores for the USA, who move one giant step nearer Brazil. first half. In the second half, he delivers. And the crowd here in Columbus, Ohio, are going wild.
In the first half, it was Omar Gonzalez. In the second half, it's Clarence Goodson to allow Eddie Johnson, Omar Gonzalez to get into that area. I love this because the first half, Mexico thinks Omar Gonzalez is going to set the pick. No, it's Clarence Goodson. Dempsey gets near post, and Eddie Johnson has completely made a meal out of every head ball since coming back from Fulham. He's been a beast tonight for the U.S.
That is a fantastic header. What a spring it was. Look at Jürgen Klinsmann, who scored his last international goal for Germany against Mexico. It's his 5th American goal in 2013, Eddie Johnson. And I can hear the cheers from Seattle, his club side, from here. And Mexico now, the crisis deepens.
And we always knew, Ian, coming into this game, the formula for the United States against Mexico here in Columbus, counter-attacking opportunities and set pieces. And once again, off a set piece, Eddie Johnson comes up huge for the U.S. national team.
What an amazing statistic. 12 goals in 21 World Cup qualifiers in his career. That's value for money. Of course, Eddie didn't go to the World Cup last time. He was in the preliminary squad and he didn't make the cut. I think he'd certainly make the cut this time around. Well, the dream scenario is on here for the US. Thanks to Eddie Johnson's goal, he climbed mountain high to put that away. Now, what does that do to Mexico's fragile confidence? Are some of those players starting to think, oh, here we go again?
Very much so, Ian. And going back to the goal, Jose de Jesus Corona, one of the guys that have been very solid in qualifier for Mexico, comes out, and once you come out as a goalkeeper, you have to get there. You don't get there, Eddie Johnson, strong jumper, good header, 1-0 United States.
Problems for the new coach, Luis Fernando Tena. Now, what does he do about this? How quick on his feet is he going to be strategically? A faster start in this second half coming from the US. They're threatening again here, played in towards Eddie Johnson by Parkhurst, who got forward from defence. Now, how quickly can Mexico counter? The answer, not very at the moment. And look at that from Zabali, just giving the ball away.
But Ian, that's right on cue. There's been 4 or 5 times tonight Mexico has a wonderful opportunity to catch the United States with 4 or 5 guys forward. It's just too predictable, too nonchalant.
Just to remind you, the United States will qualify for the World Cup next year if they win this game tonight and Panama fail to win in Honduras. That game has started. It's only 13 minutes in. It's goalless at the moment. We will, of course, keep you posted on what could be a dramatic night as Dempsey chases this. Was never going to quite get there. The US have never lost in 9 games at this Crew Stadium. In fact, only one team has scored here in all that time. That was Jamaica back in 2004. It's an incredible record. It is a bit of a fortress. Will it be again tonight? Moreno looking for some options. Alejandro, Mexico's football just lacks a bit of tempo, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does, and it has for essentially all of 2013. They get into positions where now the plays interchange, the ability to move with and without the ball, and when you have to hit penetrating passes, and instead of hitting those passes, they back away and they're content and settle with a 5-yard side-to-side pass.
The US keeping up a record, a remarkable record of scoring in every World Cup qualifier they played at home since the year 2000. We're going to get a change here. Hector Herrera, one of the Olympic heroes, is going to come on, the player who was transferred for $10 million to Porto this summer from Pachuca for his 9th cap. Replace Jimenez. Herrera, who learned his football on the beach at Rosarito. Bedoya's made a good start to the second half. Here's Parkhurst. Clarence Goodson. Goodson and Gonzalez started as centre-backs in the famous snow game in Denver. Clean sheet that night.
In the end, I got to tell you, I'm surprised by the substitution of taking Cristian Chaco Jimenez off the field. He had been one of the most dangerous players in attack for Mexico. His ability to move with and without the ball had been one of the creative players for Mexico in that first half.
And they need a goal. One of the catalysts has gone. I'm sure there's effort in what Tainer is doing. Zabala. Here it is, Herrera. Just wants to give them a bit more of a solid platform in the center of midfield. That's the only thing you can think. Meyers limping a little, the number 21 there for Mexico. Donovan given the job of tracking back and proving it for a second time to Jurgen Klinsmann. He can play the wide positions and not just behind the striker. By the way, it's Donovan's 153rd cap tonight. He's on course to become the all-time appearance maker. It's Kobe Jones at the moment with 164. US 1, Mexico 0. Coverage brought to you by AT&T. Good header from Diego Reyes in the air. Bedoya on the chase, starting to give Salcido something to think about down that side. Here's Giovanni Dos Santos. Goes on. Hernandez. Corner, it's the decision. US don't agree with that. Young referee, 34-year-old Courtney Campbell, says otherwise. This is his 13th World Cup qualifier, by the way, the ref. Now then, Mexico, can they come up with something from their own corner here? No, it's Gonzalez winning the header again. He was a thorn in the side of Mexico in the Azteca, wasn't he, big Omar Gonzalez? Oh, and the header coming in from Zabala. Comfortable enough for Tim Howard. Just trying to calm down everybody. Not easy in this atmosphere, I can tell you. He didn't play the Azteca game, Tim Howard. He had that back injury at the time. Brad Guzan deputized very ably, as usual. Here's Herrera. So what are Mexico made of now? What about their character, their heart, their pride? Because these cornered Tigers have got to show they've got some teeth now.
And this is the question, and this is the moment, Ian. Can they come up with 30 minutes of creative, dynamics, explosive soccer and attack? They haven't done it in 2013. Some people question they don't have the players to have that kind of performance, and yet the expectation is, and has always been, that in CONCACAF, Mexico should be able to get results. They haven't in 2013. Will they tonight?
There is even a scenario where Mexico could slip to 5th place in this group tonight. Maybe improbably, Panama would have to win away to Honduras, and American fans, of course, want a different result there. This is a long way from finished here yet. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, not by any stretch.
And Ian, you mentioned it briefly. They need to have a second striker with Oribe Peralta. He's in form with the national team, in form with his club, Santos Laguna. Mexico needs a second presence in the box.
And that's the way it's going for Mexico. Herrera was unable to control it. Over to you, Senor Tena. US on course for a glory night. There. Zabala sitting deep. He's a defensive midfielder. Herrera is the furthest forward at the moment, the midfield player, told obviously to make runs from deep positions. Sent on with that brief. Looks like that anyway. Here's Andres Guardado. Zavala again. Needed a killer pass and it got, well, a pass. It was hard to explain, wasn't it, that one?
It's been the problem of Mexico. Lack of creativity, lack of inventiveness in attack, and he continues. And for the United States, organized behind the ball, disciplined defensively, and there will be counter-attacking opportunities. Mexico needs to push numbers forward.
Here's Hector Moreno, the Espanyol player, bringing it out from the back. Dos Santos wanted a free kick, he wasn't getting one. The referees tried to let the play go on, but the US have a player down, which is why it's been knocked out of play here. It's Eddie Johnson, the goal scorer and current hero.
And over the last 2 or 3 minutes, the United States have been caught a little too deep. No support really up front for Eddie Johnson, and that looks like the back of his head hit the ground, and immediately Aaron Johansson on the sideline picks up his warm-up.
But it was his head that did all the damage as far as Mexico were concerned like this.
And Ian, we saw it in the first half. He was unlucky to score on the first one. But I loved the little pick from Clarence Goodson and then the authority from Eddie Johnson to get on top of it and bury it.
Got to say, that was a great header. He got 2 in the win in Antigua on his recall. He got another one in his home stadium against Panama. He's got a vital one here against Mexico tonight. It's 4 in his last 6 appearances for the national side for Eddie Johnson. Now, is he all right? They're checking for concussion here, aren't they? You know all about this one. Do have the very talented young striker Aaron Johansson, who recently made his debut for the US and chose the US over Iceland, and he's taken everybody's eye. Because he's itching to have a chance, but they won't want to take Eddie Johnson off lightly here, not the way he's been playing. Here's Jermaine Jones. Clint Dempsey. Arce. Now what can they set up here, Mexico? Comes to absolutely nothing again.
But see, right now you look at this back 4 of the United States, they're caught too deep. The first 45, 50 minutes of this game, they pushed up the half field. Right now, Omar Gonzalez, Clarence Goodson, the moment they win that ball, they have to push up and make this field more compact.
Moreno with a sloppy ball from the Mexicans. Is there any sign of this sleeping, slumbering giant waking up? Here's Carlos Salcido. Nice turn by Hernandez. That was classy, wasn't it? Herrera, who plays it backwards. Now the US funnel all those white shirts back behind the ball. flags up, offside. Peralta is going to come on shortly for Mexico. The striker is very much the Olympic hero. Let's go down to John Sutcliffe, our touchline reporter.
Ian, Oribe Peralta, we've always said in Mexico, he's like a boxer, no? He goes all out every moment. He's been injured lots of parts of the year, his knees. And I've been told that the game on Friday in Azteca against Honduras, he got hit in the nose. That was one of the reasons that he wasn't going to start. And it's always been said that him and Chicharito have trouble playing together. Well, they got less than 30 minutes to find the way to play together.
Exactly. Kind of has to happen from a Mexican standpoint. How alarmed Mexico's legions of fans must be. The US aren't going to worry about that. Purposely have this game here because they know it's very difficult for the Mexican fans to come here and get tickets. It's by design, all right. Looking for movement. Herrera, Arce. This is better now then. Dos Santos, he'll look to work this onto his left foot and create something. It was aimed towards Hernandez, but the service for Chicharito just hasn't been there. Now then, here's the score coming in from the Jamaica-Costa Rica game. It's still goalless. Costa Rica clinches World Cup qualification with a win, and a USA win or draw. So they're maybe on course too tight. We'll see. Eddie Johnson's okay again. Dempsey's waiting in the middle. Donovan too. Bedoya's cross. Naya dealt with it pretty well. Here's Beasley, who scored in the big 2005 game against Mexico here, which clinched qualification. USA looking relatively comfortable at the moment. We stress at the moment. ESPN's presentation of this World Cup qualifier is brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. It's too long for Clint Dempsey. Donovan and Dempsey, top two scorers all time for the United States. Since Jurgen Klinsmann took over, they've only started together 4 of the 39 games for one reason or another. Hard to believe, but it's true. This one is the 5th. Dempsey, a little bit of space. He attacks it. He was looking for a free kick. The ref wasn't having that. He's still protesting about it. The American skipper, as Guardado tries to get Hernandez inbound, but two very big, tall defenders there. Who are bosses in the air. Goodson, Gonzalez.
But that's not what Mexico's good at, Alejandro. There's absolutely no reason to hit a ball 40 yards right into the kitchen of Gonzalez and Goodson.
Taylor, and it's a straight ball to a straight run. We both know that doesn't work.
Aerial coverage brought to you tonight by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. And here comes that change we were talking about. Oribe Peralta, who scored 2 at Wembley in the Olympic final against Brazil. He's on now. And Arce, the midfield player, has gone off. So we were asking the question when they were going to do it. The answer's now, with just over 20 minutes to go. Peralta and Chicharito Hernandez up top. Looks like a 4-4-2 now. Got to press more men forward. Here's Guardado. Crosses deep. It ought to be Tim Howard's. It is.
And Ian, Hector Herrera now goes and plays as a defensive midfielder in front of the back four. And Giovanni Dos Santos pulls out wide to the right-hand side. And then now two out-and-out strikers for Mexico, giving a second presence in the box for Mexico.
They are really looking down the barrel, Mexico here. Who would have thought it? And they are running out of time in this group. Everybody keeps saying, don't they, oh, Mexico, they'll be all right. They're going to make the World Cup finals. Another game goes on, and there's no dramatic sign of things being that much different. Why would there be, I guess, 3 days later?
No, but Ian, keep in mind, if Costa Rica clinches tonight, their final game of World Cup qualifying is at Costa Rica, where they've already qualified.
Yeah. Which only can help them. Guardado blocked on the way through. The American defense looking pretty solid, and we hear now that Honduras have scored. Carlos Corsley with the goal after 27 minutes against Panama. If things stay like this, the USA will qualify for the World Cup finals tonight, but there's only one goal in this still, and there's still over 20 minutes to go. Danger for the US is they sit on it a bit too much.
That's a great point, Ian, because now the switch for Mexico to a 4-4-2. Guardado and Dos Santos now will tuck inside right in these positions. That's very difficult for DeMarcus Beasley and Michael Parkhurst to pick up.
Player down injured here. I think the ball will have to be put out of play.
Looks like Jermaine Jones.
Yeah. Looks like a blow to the face, doesn't it? Jermaine Jones, the Schalke player, who he's claiming, I think, that he took a deliberate blow from that. See what the gestures are to the referee.
A completely different game tonight from Jermaine Jones than Friday night, Ian. Friday night, he looked out of place. He looked a lot like a deer in headlights because his partner, Michael Bradley, got hurt in warm-ups. Tonight, he's been all over the field, covering for Omar Gonzalez, Clarence Goodson, Kyle Beckerman, and even when DeMarcus Beasley goes forward, he's had a good 72 minutes.
Tell you what I've liked about Jermaine Jones tonight, Taylor. He has been smart. And at times, Jermaine Jones gets in trouble when he makes decisions at the wrong time. Tonight, he hasn't taken any chances. He's been good on the ball, good defensively.
And he's set to be the main man in that midfield with Michael Bradley missing. Mr. Marcus Beasley. Here you are, giving you a little flashback to the days when he was an out-and-out winger. Speed was good, not the final ball to Eddie Johnson, though. DeMarcus Beasley and Landon Donovan would be going to their 4th World Cup finals. That would equal the likes of Pelé, Diego Maradona, and Paolo Maldini. Not bad. Hernandez here. Goodson out of harm's way.
And Ian, tactically for Mexico now, Jesus Zavala in front of the back four, Hector Herrera with the freedom to go and join in the attack, and then providing another option in the final third for Mexico.
Yet another corner here for Mexico. Can they make one of these pay off? Zavala going up for it again, couldn't get it goalwards. Donovan quite happy to just do his shift defensively a bit here. Making some point to the bench as well, Landon Donovan there. Not quite sure what it was. And over 11.5 hours in this group now, Mexico have scored a sum total of 4 goals. Massive problem. Now then, look at the space DeMarcus Beasley has got here. Beckerman just done his job in an uncomplicated way there tonight. This news comes in that Costa Rica have taken the lead in Jamaica. So, at the moment, Costa Rica would qualify for the World Cup tonight, and so too would the United States. Even if this ended in a draw, the minimum the US could get would be a playoff.
And just now, Eddie Johnson pointed to Jurgen Klinsmann and pointed to his head. And immediately it looks like Mixed Diskerud may come into this game, which would push Clint Dempsey up forward.
Donovan, nicely done. Through the legs, that pass, he meant it to. It's Beckerman. Looked like he was certainly fouled by Peralta from behind. And they won't be in any particular hurry now, the United States, and who could blame them? Well, it hasn't always been an easy ride for Jurgen Klinsmann. Remember those stories a few months back about how there was supposed to be unrest in the camp, and some people not happy with him, but things have rather turned around since then. It's a distant rumor and memory that now his Mixed Diskerud is going to replace maybe a slightly groggy Eddie Johnson. Standing ovation for the goal scorer.
And rightfully so. Big questions coming into this game. How would they fill in the absence of Jozy Altidore? And Eddie Johnson has answered that call tremendously tonight. Big physical, running the channels, keeping possession, and then extremely dangerous on set piece and earned himself a goal.
So on comes Diskerud. He's only 22, one of the new breed. He plays for Rosenborg in Norway. And this is the goal, yet again. What
just a textbook header from Eddie Johnson. The same header he had in the first half, but this time in a dangerous spot.
Bedoya working hard on that right-hand side. Defending for Beasley to do here. Donovan's touch, it wasn't the one he meant, but look who's working. It's Diskerud's first touch is to mop up that attack. He's telling Goodson something about what Jurgen Klinsmann wants positionally from here on in. Do you like Diskerud, Taylor?
Well, we had questions about Bedoya being in the lineup, but the Gold Cup for Bedoya was the same for Diskerud. Very good on the ball, very calm in tight spots. But it's very important he recognizes the situation right now. It's not that important that he goes forward. It's very important that he's an outlet for Jones, Beckerman, and then back four to play forward.
Dempsey trying to make progress against the tenacious Moreno down that side. As a change comes up here for Mexico, the attacking midfield player Angel Reyna, who plays for Vera Cruz, is going to come on. He scored recently and they win over the Ivory Coast, but that was only a friendly. Mexico got 4 that day, but they need to do it when it matters. Head problem. Just a little bit careful with Eddie Johnson. It's precautionary, you'd hope, anyway, Taylor.
Right now, the doctor's taking Eddie Johnson into the locker room and go through the concussion protocol.
And in for Mexico now, Andres Guardado drops into a left-back position. Angel Reyna pushes higher, and a guy that can break defenders down in one-on-one situations, something that we haven't seen from Mexico tonight very often. Players taking defenders on a one-on-one situation.
Here's Diskerud. Oh, played into there, and Landon Donovan makes it 2. It's their scoreline again. Columbus, 2-0. USA over Mexico. Brazil beckons. Dos a 0 yet again. Those glum Mexican faces tell a story, but a party has started here in Columbus again.
And the magical touch of Jurgen Klinsmann continues. Mixed Diskerud, very confident in tight spots. Look at this touch. But then to be calm, cool, and collected, and a perfect ball, that little deflection from Clint Dempsey allows Landon Donovan to get on the end of it. But that is all Mixed Diskerud in tight spots. Very dangerous. 2-0 US.
Fabulous piece of play by Mixed Diskerud. I'll tell you a story about him. The first time I saw him was in training in South Africa a couple of years ago, and they were having shooting practice, and he chipped the goalkeeper from 20 yards. Everyone else was blasting it, went into the roof, and he just walked away like nothing had happened.
but he has that kind of demeanor.
Yeah, he does.
In tight spots, he's okay. He's very confident in his ability, particularly his first touch. What a great way to leave your mark as a substitute coming into this game.
Great ball. And Mexico here. Well, are they going to qualify for this World Cup playing like this?
That's fair to ask, Ian. And it's a question that now it's a reality. You have to make sure that Mexico then understands they have to get results. And tonight, after the first 15 minutes, Mexico has fallen back into the same type of play that they've had throughout the course of 2013.
The 2-0 chance have begun. Well, there was no magic wand in the kit for Luis Fernando Tena. They can't blame Chepo de la Torre for this one. They've been blaming him right the way through. You had to ask questions about the players. But there's a dispirited look among the Mexican players now. They badly need something pretty quickly to bite on here to set up a finish. That's not the corner that'll do it. Dempsey is able to clear it. Guardado from a long way out. It was goal bound, I fancy, until it was blocked. Reina to cross it in again. Nothing doing. It was a poor cross. That's a weird one because Mexico started this tonight like they really meant business. At one point, I must admit, I was kind of thinking it's only a matter of time before they score. Hasn't worked out like that. Peralta here. Reina. Zabala. Carrera, he's not been able to make too much difference, having been brought on quite early in the second half. Naya easily blocked. And that was clever there, wasn't he, DeMarcus Beasley? Just drew the foul and got it, and a free kick. What a career revival for him. If results hold the way they are tonight,
there will be a party in Columbus, my man.
Honduras are still leading, just coming up to half-time in that one, so there's a way to go still. But Panama have to win that game to stop the US making it tonight. Unless there's something very dramatic here late on. And we're up to the, what, 83rd minute. Jermaine Jones is down again. He's in the wars last few minutes, isn't he? So let's go back to the second goal. Set up by Diskerud and taken by another D-man, Donovan.
Yeah, and just watch Mix Diskerud because he's staying alive, and then the first touch sets him up, but then he picks up his head and he sees both Dempsey and Donovan. This little touch allows from Dempsey, allows Donovan to get on the end of it, but that is all Diskerud staying alive on a short throw-in.
Donovan knew where to be. Always had that poacher's instinct. He knew where to attack.
Yeah, and as Mix Diskerud takes that great touch around the defender and gets his head up, Landon Donovan is able to get in front of Iran Mier and finish the play off.
Substitution coming up here for the USA. Graham Zusi left out of the starting lineup tonight to replace the man who actually replaced him in that starting lineup, Alejandro Bedoya, who worked hard.
He had a very good showing, but the most important part of that substitute, Bedoya's on a yellow card. Right now, the United States is up 2-0. Absolutely no reason to risk getting a second yellow.
Into the closing stages here, and what's going to happen later on is on a big screen they will show the fans here what's going on in the vital other game between Honduras and Panama, whereas if things stay where they are, it will be the clincher for the USA. So this stadium, I think, is going to stay till, I don't know what time. Midnight, beyond, you think 2 in the morning, don't you?
I'm going to say 3:30. Sports Center will be with us, ESPN FC. It's going to be a party.
Kyle Beckerman going for a rare effort on goal. The man who plays for Real Salt Lake, who are leading the standings in the Western Conference of Major League Soccer.
And Ian, a while back you asked the question about the players of Mexico and how much blame they deserve. And to be quite honest with you, you see a team here that the first 10-15 minutes, they try to get after this game. Once things didn't go their way, they easily broke down, and the United States, slowly but surely, simply took the game away from Mexico, and we're the better side tonight.
But another player on a yellow card for the USA. Not that it looks like it's going to matter now, is Landon Donovan, who you might have seen. It was for time wasting. We've just confirmed that yellow. You saw the referee give to Donovan as he went to take a throw in. It's Herrera. Not been seeing too much first-team action for Porto this season. Doesn't help Mexico's scores either, and Guardado is about to take the throw. He went into the season with an injury. I think he's only started once for Valencia so far. Need the players match sharp and fit. Dempsey going on. He was very, very strong there. He needs a bit of support, though. He's going alone. He kind of had to in the end. No one was arriving. Quite rightly, the US sitting deep, not doing anything positionally that might invite Mexico back into the argument. So how heartbreaking is this for the Mexican fans? Of course, there won't be any sympathy from anybody in this stadium, bar those, the few people who have got here supporting Mexico clad in green. But it is part of the story here. There's no doubt about that.
It's heartbreaking for the Mexican fans, Ian, but it's not surprising. This has been the story this whole year for this Mexican national team. And to be quite honest with you, it must be said, right now this team is lacking character and lacking the fight that we become accustomed from a Mexican national side.
Hernandez was a little too free with his challenge. That will be a free kick. He swaps a word or two with Landon Donovan, which was unlikely to be a party invite. Clarence Goodson, he's just got to be careful that the referee doesn't see this as time wasting there. Get on with it, he said, quite rightly, I think. Look at Beasley, still sprightly this late in the game, but that wasn't such a clever pass from him. Now he's got to get back to his post. Is he the best left back for the US now, Beasley?
I still think there's concerns, particularly after Friday night against Costa Rica, but any player will tell you it's how you answer adversity, and DaMarcus Beasley answered a poor performance Friday night to a very good performance tonight here in Columbus.
Already through to the World Cup, Argentina. We think will be qualifying later on. Brazil, Japan, Australia, Iran, South Korea, Holland and Italy today. And to add to that list, very probably you'd have to say now, the USA, making it for the 7th consecutive time. One of those times, of course, they qualified as hosts, 94. For 40 years before that, the US didn't qualify at all. It's quite a turnaround and proof of the growth of the game in this country. Guardado plays it in, and Peralta was waiting. That was tremendous work by Clarence Goodson.
But the growth of the game you talk about, Ian, imagine us in Denver for the snow game talking about the Sporting News article and questioning the character of this team under Jurgen Klinsmann. Remarkable turnaround very quickly.
Looks like a sound decision again for the United States to take this fixture to Columbus, Ohio, and I think they'll keep on doing it as well every time it turns out like this.
Anyone wants to tell me right now this game shouldn't be in Columbus, find me on Twitter.
Well, I think anybody who suggested it might be lynched.
Oh, man. What an atmosphere, though, Taylor.
And remember, this campaign started in worrying fashion with a 2-1 away defeat in Honduras. All kinds of worries and concerns. And but the thing with Mexico is they've gone out almost every time in this group and played pretty laboriously. Even when they were 2-0 up away to Honduras, they let it slip. 2-2 that one. Beckerman, that's it, the easy ball to Diskerud. And Parkhurst with all the time in the world. And he's going to eat up all that time as well if he can. Well, look at that. Jamaica have equalized against Costa Rica, and that might open the way for the USA to go top of the group again tonight. The Jamaicans, who look to be out of the reckoning, they've been in bottom place for a while now. Too late for them, I fancy. Into stoppage time here. Away by Beckerman. Landon Donovan. Just looking to pick the right ball. Anyone who thinks that qualifying for the World Cup is a piece of cake, consider this. There are 207 nations, 32 get to the finals. That means 175 don't. Away by Gonzalez, anywhere will do for the United States. Just to remind you, the United States will go to Brazil with this win unless Panama win away to Honduras, and they're losing 1-0 at the moment. Goodson having to do some fending. Parkhurst has been really steady since he came on second half. But it does all look academic now.
And the biggest storyline for the United States coming into this game, Ian, was what? The depth will be tested. No Jeff Cameron, no Matt Besler, no Michael Bradley, no Josie Altidore. Jurgen Klinsmann can be very pleased at how his players came off the bench, answered the call at home, and that depth proved to be extremely worthy tonight.
Looks like Mexico might be 5 points off the automatic places by the end of the night, the way things are shaping up. And here is Beasley. He'll just take it into the corner and eat up a few more seconds. That's the result, by the way. Jamaica 1, Costa Rica 1. So Costa Rica don't get the win they needed tonight. Now just settle back at home and sample the atmosphere. The USA are going to Brazil. It looks like Mexico are going to New Zealand to play a playoff. Who'd have thought it? And they've really faded in this game, Mexico. The USA sat in there, stuck with it in the first awkward 25 minutes or so. Second half, they've been the better side, scored 2 good goals. Great one from Eddie Johnson with a header, another from Landon Donovan. And the party is underway. Chants of USA ringing around the stadium. Oh, and now is he going to give a penalty for that? Yes, he is. Dempsey was brought down, and they can rub it in here. Zabala shakes his head, but the referee's in no doubt. And this has turned into an absolute nightmare. Dempsey's going to take it again. He scored one the other night. It wasn't the greatest penalty. He was a bit lucky at bouncing off the goalie. Doesn't matter. They all count.
He loves to step up and hit this to the goalkeeper's right.
It's Dempsey. Oh, and he's put it wide. Goodness me. It's not going to matter, but he looks crestfallen. Jurgen Klinsmann can afford to smile because the USA have done it again. Lightning doesn't strike twice in Columbus, Ohio. It struck 4 times. It's 2-0 again. Mexico are beaten, and the USA now are as good as on that plane to the World Cup Finals. Unconfined joy among the American Outlaws and the other supporters groups who are here. Utter desolation for Mexico. It's 2-0 all over again as we hand it to Bob Lee.
And perhaps a poetic miss by Clint Dempsey, certainly not intentional, but keeping the script intact of 2-0 for the 4th consecutive qualifier. The party has started, but don't take the tinfoil off the champagne. That'll happen about 10:50 Eastern time when Honduras and Panama finish up. But Mexico in crisis, the USA exultant.
Simple, Bob. That was an American beauty. That was a classic American performance. All the hallmarks: great defending, set pieces, counterattacking, absorbing pressure. That is what the United States is about at its best, and it should never apologize for that.
Well, that's your answer to the squad question. The boys stepped up. They did a tremendous job. Bedoya worked extremely hard. Goodson, not even in the squad for the Costa Rica game, comes in, has a tremendous game.
Diskerud.
Yeah, Diskerud does an excellent job coming in. Landon out wide. Great game. Kyle Beckerman. What a game. We're all talking about the missing Michael Bradley. Kyle Beckerman came in and did a professional job.
The party is just beginning here in Columbus, and you have a front row seat. We're going to step aside for a moment, send you to Steve Levy and Jay Harrison Sports Center, and then come back for continuing coverage. The vigil on the final between Honduras and Panama. The USA 2, Mexico 0, and the party continuing in Columbus.